All right, what I've got up on the bench now is the Stihl MS201T. This is pretty much the climber saw. The most powerful climber saw that Stihl makes, and generally the most popular. You watch any of the climber videos on YouTube, and a lot of times they're going to be carrying this saw. August Honecky uses it, although that's heavily modified. I think Tree Boy for Life uses a Husqvarna, but a lot of the other guys, this is the one they use. This is the one we use at T&L. We have 3 of these and an MS200. They get used constantly and they hold up well. All right, so spec-wise, this guy is running a 35.2 cc engine. The power head is 8.16 pounds, puts out 2.41 horse, which gives us a power to weight ratio of 2.95 horsepower per pound. Of course, that's power head, not including the bar. But I want to say this is not a 16-inch bar, but this thing comes standard, from the store, unless you specify otherwise, with a 16 on here, and pulls them incredibly well. These guys are definitely powerful for their size. If you're not familiar with the top handle saws, these are designed for professional climbers. When I was a salesman at a Stihl dealer, I always had guys looking at them and going, "Oh man, that thing looks really light. I think I want one of those." And I was like, "Man, you want a ground saw? This is definitely more of a dangerous saw to operate. Not having that rear handle for that control. So you have the top handle and the side handle, but if you do get kickback or anything, this is going to be a lot more dangerous." Also, the price is kind of discouraging as well, because these guys are pretty pricey. I think like $650. But for you climbers out there, you really need to have the best equipment available. You're up in a tree and your saw breaks down or something, it's bad news. So anyway, we use these day in, day out. They hold up incredibly well. You can see it's definitely not a new saw. It's got some use on it, got some miles, quite a few tanks. Speaking of tanks, this is a 10.5 ounce fuel tank on here. The big upgrade of this model from the MS200 is the scavenging engine. So you get more fuel efficiency, roughly 20%, which if you work tree service, you know how important that is. If you're up in a tree and you run out of gas, which, it happens, big trees. If you're in a bucket, you gotta come down, or if you're in the tree, you gotta lower it down, you gotta wait for your ground crew. So having good fuel efficiency and a big fuel tank on your tree saw is critical. But let's take a closer look at this guy. All right, coming over the side panel, side cover. All right, taking out the side cover. These are capture nuts so they can't come off the side cover. That way you're not dropping off a tree. And with these, it's not like a ground saw where it just comes straight off. The easiest way is to kind of angle it from the bottom up. There is a hole that the chain brake post goes into, so you want to kind of go at an angle, assuming your bar nut's all the way off. All right, just like that. You'll notice right away we have a different clutch assembly, save room on the machine. The clutch is actually on the outside of the sprocket. So there's a clutch right here. Chain brake is actually on the side cover right here. That's your safety item. This is polycarbonate. They don't make these magnesium. Taking a bar and chain off of these guys, the easiest method, unlike your ground saws, is to actually take the bar off first. So let me slide the chain off the bar, and then you can kind of slide this guy out. And these I find best to kind of lift up. All right, and come off. All right, so this is a spur, kind of a modified spur drive. It is soldered, or it is brazed to the clutch drum. So when you change one, you're going to be changing both. You do have easy access to your clutch if you do need to change out the springs or change out the pads in there. This is adjustable oiler. So on your side cover, it kind of has that engraving or painted on decal right there, just let you know. But the hole is right here for your oiler. I always have that cranked up all the way. It's a lot cheaper to buy a little extra bar and chain oil than to change out with new bars and new chains. All right, bar oil, fuel here. quick release cover for your air filter on the back here. Pretty convenient. You have a fleeced air filter. Saves room really versus the pleated style. And while we're back here, have a built-in carry ring. Hook into your climbing harness much easier. So when you're up in a tree working, you just have that guy hanging when not in use. And if you are up in a tree, don't leave this guy idling, just hanging down there. You know, shut him down. It gives you more fuel efficiency that way, and that way, you know, it actually saves you time. It's a lot easier just to restart this than to run out of fuel and have to come down and go again. But you can see the orientation of the cylinder is actually kind of much different than your standard ground saw. So the piston's actually running this way, providing power up here. So let's put this guy in some wood and see how he does. We got the 201T here already warmed up. Let's make some cuts. Guess I should have checked to make sure my chain was sharp first, huh? Back in a minute. All right, it's already warmed up. Nice sharp chain. Let's make some cuts. And although it's not a ground saw, you still want to use the leg lock method of starting these guys. A little more difficult, but safer. There you go, the EMS 201T. You know, I love a saw, or love the saw. You know, there's a reason that so many pros use it. Not that there aren't other nice ones out there. You know, and I would love to get my hands on them and do a video with them and review them, but I don't really have access to them at the moment. So, whatever. You know, great saw, and it's what I will be using in my climbs. So, have any questions? Feel free to leave them in the comments below. And as always, have a good one, humans.